Hello and welcome back, friends, family, and frenemies. We are out of hyperdrive, and oh, my hair's really a mess today, isn't it? Crazy rains here, and we're out of hyperdrive and safely locked in orbit around our latest celestial. And so it's time to stream. Give me just a moment. I'm actually a little bit behind on some stuff. Things apparently didn't work out right as I clicked live, so that's been interesting. Let me hit up a couple quick things here. All right, so I hope everyone had a good Memorial Day, those of us that are in America, and for those of us that are not, I still hope you had a great weekend. I know it was kind of a strange and odd stream last time, and I apologize about that. It's just, it was a strange and awkward time in general. Kind of a little bit of a sad time. But now that we're back, we're gonna get back into it. Let me do that. There we go. And you know, we've got a little bit in the way of content this time around because they actually, there's like all sorts of cool, interesting stuff here. Got some patch notes. Got a note from the forums. So there's a bit of this, a bit of that. And today we're gonna start going down the ship tree. As an alpha, as a new bro, you know, going through. Oh. There we go. I thought it was a little bit extra quiet. As a new bro, going through everything, and you know, like I've always said, Eve can be a bit of a kind of a daunting you know, place. So in a lot of ways, like, you don't know where to go, you don't know what to do, you don't know how to do things you need to do. Well, one of the things that I do want to go over, and we have gone over, like SP, skill point allocation, what you might want to do, how you might want to get those things done in your life, or in your Eve career rather. But regardless, I'm gonna head over and just kind of start going through the skill tree. Or not the skill tree, the ship tree. Just a second. We're gonna start with something simple today. We're gonna go with Corvettes, see what we can really do with them, how they can work out, how CCP implementing this free ship really kind of gives us a gateway into some pretty interesting times. See what we can do with them, see kind of what they're all about, because they are the free ship. You get the free ship with the free modules, and they really don't amount to too much, but they still have their use. They still have, you know, capability within the world of EVE Online. So we're gonna kind of just touch on them. I've got one other thing to bring up here, and then we'll get going. Here we go. See if anything changed. It looks like quite a bit changed, so we're gonna open that. Okay. So yeah, without further ado, then let's go ahead and switch on over. Pop that there. I'll pop that right there. There we go. That should help us out. All right. And boop. All right. We'll start off with the patch notes. Something we, you know, pretty much something we always do here. Oops. I just wanted to grab this. There's a lot of tabs today. There we go. Okay. There wasn't really a whole lot in the way of patch notes, as far as things to do, or, you know, things to go over. They did add. Let's see here. Last time that we were, you know, in between last time and this time, they added the NPE intro video to the Korean client with Korean voiceovers, which is great. and they fixed a copy to clipboard option that was unintentionally removed back to the fitting management window. So all of those are good, essential changes, really. Minor stuff, realistically speaking, but still hugely necessary, really. Okay, and then this was the post from the Eve forums. We've all seen this on our launchers today. If you haven't clicked on that bright red bar, it basically points you to this forum post from CCP Paragon, which says that there's going to be an extended downtime on June 3rd, which is quite literally tomorrow, while we conduct hardware maintenance on the EVE Online chat server. We expect this process to take between 90 to 120 minutes, anticipating the work will be completed at no later than 1300 UTC. Please note, Tranquility will be brought back online as soon as maintenance is completed, which can be ahead of schedule of the previously mentioned downtime. And they'll keep posting updates there and on here and on the Eve status Twitter. So, if you if you're curious as to what that bar was, that's pretty much what they were talking about right there. I'm just not in my game today. Anyways, so the Anger Games Proving Grounds is coming up on June 4th. It's a couple days away. Furious Capsuleers, with the return of the Anger Games now underway, the next round of Abyssal Proving Grounds action is dedicated to the beloved community-run tournament. What does that mean? This time, 1v1 cruiser combat comes with a hot-headed twist. All ships that enter this Proving Ground clash will receive a special bonus that doubles the benefits gained from overheating the following module groups: tackle modules, propulsion, repair, resistance, energy warfare modules, turrets, and launchers. That means you can expect furiously intense dramatic action throughout the one-day 1v1 event, which takes place on June 4th exclusively. The 1v1 is open to Omen, Caracal, Thorax, Stabber, Mauler, Moa, Vexer, and Rupture hulls. Those preparing to enter should also know that sensor dampeners, weapon disruptors, shield boost amplifiers, shield rechargers, shield power relays, shield flux coils, and core defense field purgers are all banned for this special event. Pilots that join this event will also be restricted to Metaphor modules, with their ships limited to a maximum of one local repair module fitted, shield or armor. To get involved with the Angry Games Abyssal Proving Grounds event, grab those proving filaments and get yourself to the Proving Grounds on the 4th of June. And as ever, the Proving Grounds leaderboards will allow you to track Capsuleer performance through the event. And then they give a link to the main Anger Games 5 action. There's a full schedule there, and you can also watch live on CCP TV from now till the 12th of June. And of course, they'll have their VODs up as well. The good stuff all around. And I went ahead and reopened the Anger Games website just so we can get an idea. The Eve article. Weekend 2 is coming up on the 4th of June. The winners bracket round 3 and losers bracket round 2. The stream will be starting at 1700 UTC. Matches start at 1715. 5th of June, losers bracket rounds 3 and 4, with the stream starting at 1700 UTC. And the matches will start, of course, at 1715 UTC, for those of us that needed a refresher on that. Weekend 3 is a little bit farther out. That's literally next weekend after this one coming up. And I'll probably mention it again on Thursday, just so that way we're all kind of caught up and it's in the back of our minds for when the weekend comes out and around. The next big thing I wanted to point out. Oh, hey, Jolly! Wow, thank you for the subscription, or for the sub. I'm not in my game today. Thank you, Jolly. I really appreciate the sub. Also, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the group. To the thing. It did not go off for me. I think I'm actually having problems with OBS on my side. I can't seem to hear it, and I'm not sure why. Nice. Well, thank you regardless. As always, I really appreciate it. And it goes without saying, everybody that's supported me up to this point, also, I appreciate the support. It's not said enough on the stream, for sure. But I do appreciate it. And thank you, Jolly. Thank you again. We've already had our live candidates announcement. Right now, there's the active campaign period. And you want to keep in mind that on the 7th of June, there is the voting period has started, or will start. So it'll run from the 7th of June to the 14th of June. And you'll just have to bear with me for just a second. I'm going to try, see if I can get... Yeah, it's set the way it should be. So I'm not really sure why... I guess I've got 2 of them up. Okay, well, we'll just have to deal with that. But yeah, so that's the big thing. The 16th of June will be our big announcement. We'll find out who's taking the helm of the CSM for term 17. And hopefully one of those seats will be occupied by our very own Jinx to Care. Here's hoping. Rooting for you, Jinx. And no stream would be complete without checking out the daily SOV map, which seems like there's been a lot of changes. This one was posted on the 2nd, so that was actually yesterday? Today. Okay. Looks like there's been some changes on the Horde side. Horde lost or gained a lot of SOV from the Dragon Dynasty. Army of Mango lost a lot of SOV to no value. Outfoxed gained some SOV and Faith of Bolus. Out of the Blue also in Omist. And Horde gave up some SOV or lost some SOV to the Pan-Intergalactic business community. So that's gonna really shuffle things up. See if we can find it. Give me just a second. There we go. Now here's no, okay, so here's no value. So they just completely took the whole thing. Now I'm not sure if that's because there was a deal brokered or what. And here's Horde taking some of this SOV right here in Tenerifis. There's the Dragon Dynasty. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, what's up with that entire shakeup, but there's definitely, I mean, that's kind of strange to see. And then PIBC, where'd they say that was at? Oasa? That's over here. Yep, right there, that little spot right there. Okay, that's why I couldn't see it, because it was kind of broken down in that little tiny spot. But still, it's crazy to see no value just took everything. Doesn't really give me a timestamp. The coalition influence reflects that. PanFam affiliates, which I guess is who no value is with, and PanFam specifically, right there. And of course, PanFam affiliates, PanFam renters. So it's another interesting little shakeup right there. Faction warfare influence didn't really see a lot of changes. Black Rise had a change. It went from Galente to Caldari. See here. If I had to guess, it's probably that system right there. I can't. Oh yeah, this is probably the system right here. Yeah, sovereignty changed. So, yep, that would probably be the one. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I guess we're gonna have to watch this space though and see exactly what's going on here. Because this is kind of interesting to see that there's been this shakeup for sure. I mean the whole thing with with PIBC down here makes sense. But this down here with no value taking over pretty much all of Omist, it looks like. That's a bit strange. So we'll see what happens. All right, so that's pretty much it for all of that. Let me go ahead and get us switched over, and the first thing you guys are going to notice, and what's kept me so distracted, is that I am in warp. Please show my game. Okay, technical difficulties, I guess. Give me just a second. Let's see why it's not showing. Ah, that's why. There we go. There we go. How's that? You should be able to hear me now. That's my fault. I actually switched to a nested scene in order to actually make it work. The thing you'll notice is that I am in warp. I'm actually working on getting to our destination so we can do the things that we all want to do. While I'm heading in that direction, I will go ahead and go over the skills. I did get a lot of skills completed over that week and a half, technically, because we didn't actually play EVE Online on last Thursday. We played Oxygen Not Included, which I really hope that title updated, because I told it to update. So here's hoping it actually updated, rather than just left me hanging. Because it likes to do that to me too. But yeah, I did get a lot of things completed. I also added in a bunch of allocated skill points. I've got a little bit now. I'm going to go ahead and hit that. And we're pretty well on track, honestly. We're doing pretty good with our updates. Our skills. I moved quite a few up, so that way we could kind of take advantage of a few additional things, hopefully in the near future. Just some quality of life things. I'll go ahead and do that now. High speed maneuvering, for instance, probably needs to be a little bit higher. Election E-War, not as important, just because of the nature of what we're doing and how we're getting it done. And we're about 4 jumps away, and then we'll be able to get started on the whole Corvette thing. Industry, obviously, there's not really a super big need to have that at the forefront, but I will probably, I've got Industry 1 already, so and the medium energy turrets, all the medium turrets. We'll get the weapon rigging to 2 up here. Just so that way that's in a better spot. Thermal armor compensation, shield rigging. Well, that's probably okay for now. I'll just kind of stick with that. So all right, while I'm transitioning. Okay, while I'm transitioning these last few jumps, let's go ahead and get into the skill tree. So the ship tree. The skill tree. So what is the ship tree? The ship tree is EVE Online's CCP's way of showing you in at least a fairly clear manner, essentially ship progression, what you can expect from different lines. We'll start with the Amar Empire. They are neatly categorized in what faction or race they're from. You got Amar, Kaldari, Minmatar is a fan favorite for a lot of people. Triglavians, Edencom are recent ones. Sisters of Eve is my personal favorite. You know, things like that. For those of you who are miners out there, you're gonna want the ore tree, just for the record. But that's a bit more of a unique subset. Much like the pirate faction ones, we can get into that kind of stuff a little bit later on down the line. In fact, it is probably something that I'll end up having to circle back to because it's got its own unique setting. And all the pirate faction ones, honestly, are going to kind of get a little bit of streamy love, if you know what I mean. Well, let's go ahead and start with Amar, because for one, they're near and dear to my heart anyways. It is who I picked to start with. And for two, it's the very top left corner of the tree. So we're going to start there. As you can see, you know, in a zoomed out fashion, you get this wonderful tree. It goes from the smallest ships all the way on up to the biggest, and showing you kind of in its progression, like even all the way up to a Titan, like where they are essentially in the path. And as you can probably notice right here, there's little Omega symbols, which tells you what's essentially locked behind Omega, you know, an Omega account content. So like if you were an alpha or if you were a new bro that hadn't quite subscribed yet, things like training frigates to 5, for instance, you can't do that anyways with the SP and what they allow you to do in the game as an alpha. But if you were able to train, say, frigates to 5, you could start training into a specialized type of frigate, like the Deacon, you know, or the Retribution Vengeance, which is an assault frigate. An Anathema and a Purifier, they're going to be covert ops, and it kind of a so on and so forth type of thing. These ships, these are the specialized versions of the basic frigate and even the Navy versions that we got here. So like we have options as an alpha and as a new bro to go into like the Navy side here. And it kind of shows you that progression. If you zoom in a little bit, it shows you, it actually it lights it up for you so you know exactly where your skills are progressed on. As an aside, let's go to the Minmatar side. As you can see, I haven't done much in the way of skilling up on the Minmatar side, so my skills stop at destroyers, and cruisers aren't lit up, you know, that kind of thing. So that it gives you a very clear path as to what you can choose. So if you really want to know, like, what can I fly, or rather, what can I sit in, this is a quick and easy way to find out. Not including modules and things like that. This is just for the ship hull. But today we're going to start off with one of the ships, well, the second ship, technically speaking. The second ship that we as a pilot can start flying immediately, whether we have 1 SP or 100 million SP, doesn't matter. And that's the Corvette. The first ship being our pod, which isn't really a ship, it's just you know what I mean. Anyway, so the Corvette. The Corvette's very interesting. They are specifically tuned to their race. For the Amar side, it's 20% reduction in small energy turret for the roll bonus, 10% bonus to small energy turret. Sorry, I didn't read that right. 20% reduction in small energy turret activation cost, 10% bonus to small energy turret damage, 15% bonus to weapon disruptor effectiveness, and 8% bonus to all armor resistances. So Amar's got a bit of an advantage on the Amar, or on the Amar side. On the armor side, of course, they have the advantage on the Amar side. They are the Amar. In that particular regard, for the Imperior, as it's called, or the Emperor, however you want to say that. And yeah, I know I don't have any mastery points in here. That's because I don't have weapon disruptors trained. That's basically why I don't have any points there right now. And for those of you that are interested in what the mastery means, we can go over that at a later time. But this, I guess to put it simply for now, it's like a really high level view, like a super high level view of how skilled you are in that particular ship hull, without taking into account, of course, all the others like mods and your piloting ability and things like that. So, but yeah, for the Amar side, that's gonna be your thing. And as you can see, there are no other skill requirements. You don't have to know Spaceship Command 1, 2, 3, or 20, or whatever you're gonna, whatever it's gonna be called. I know it only goes up to 5, but you get what I mean. Fun fact, of course, everybody starts off with at least Spaceship Command. I think it's 3 or 2, as a Nubro, Alpha, fresh character, that kind of thing. Caldari's in kind of a similar boat. The Ibis does 20% bonus to small hybrid turret optimal range, the 10% bonus to kinetic light missile and rocket damage, 30% bonus to ECM target jammer strength, and 8% bonus to all shield resistances. Galente, their Velator, 10% bonus to small hybrid turret damage, 20% bonus to drone hit points damage and mining yield, 15% bonus to remote sensor dampener effectiveness, and 15% bonus to armor repairer amount. With the Minmatar, last but not least, gets the Reaper. They get a 10% bonus to ship max velocity, 10% bonus to small projectile turret damage, 15% bonus to target painter effectiveness, and a 15% bonus to shield booster amount. Now, another thing to point out, and somebody will have to correct me if I'm wrong about this, but I believe if you are, like, for instance, I'm Amar. If I were to click board my Corvette right now, which is a thing you can click in any, actually, doesn't matter if it's NPC or not, any station or any citadel, you'll board your race's Corvette. I don't believe the game gives you the Corvettes from any other race unless you are that race. Now, of course, you can always get them from other, in other ways, but like to actually get one yourself for yourself, I don't think there's actually a way to. So for us, we'll be focusing on Amar, obviously. But the real question is, why would anyone want to? Well, I'm so glad you asked. So the Corvette's got a lot of uses. On its own, it's at least a better way to fly around New Eden other than just in your pod. You want to protect your pod at all costs. If you blow up in your pod, as we know, you get sent back to your home station. That could be 5 jumps away. That could be 35 jumps away. Or it could be, maybe you're like me and we play in Samela and we're all the way out here at the very end of Cobalt Edge in MTAC VACR and get potted by some random horde dude. And then we find ourselves all the way back at Samela when all we wanted was that really, really awesome loot. Which obviously we wouldn't have been able to get if we were just in a pod, but you get the point. So that's, the Corvettes offer like a second skin. It's a good way of saying, hey, you know, and it's speedier too. It actually offers some slightly better attributes, speed through flight, I believe. Let's see, targeting, propulsion. Yep. Warp speed's a little bit better, I believe, in comparison to the capsule. No, it's about the same, but the velocity is better either way. You know, and there are other little bonuses like that. So not bad. Another thing that it offers is that if for some reason you are dead broke, and I mean completely, utterly without ISK, like say it's your first character and you have like 1 ISK to your name, boop, it's free. This Corvette is capable of taking down at least a few high-sec rats, and that's what we're going to kind of go over too, is on the ratting side of things, at least today, kind of what can we do. And later on, what I'd like to do is I'd like to take it out into a kind of a PvP situation and see if we can do something with it, PvP wise, before moving on to the frigates, of course. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Corvettes don't appear on your kill board. They don't get registered for whatever reason by Zkill. So that's kind of the downside. That they just don't offer any points anyways, I think, because it's a free ship. You're not throwing anything away. You throw something away, you get nothing from nothing, essentially. So we start off when we get a Corvette, and I'll go ahead and just tell it to board. All right. So we start off when we first get a Corvette with this kind of a layout, and all the Corvettes essentially do the same thing. They get some civilian modules, and they're not fully kitted out, you know, and that's just how it goes. You get for us on the Amar side, we get the civilian Gatling pulse laser, we get a civilian miner, and we get a civilian afterburner. The civilian afterburner will increase our max velocity. The miner will let us mine something, anything. And the Gatling pulse laser will at least let us shoot something, anything. Interesting thing about the Gatling pulse laser, and I believe this is true for all of the weapons, they don't require ammo. Civilian modules just don't really require anything to them. And as you can see, it's got 982 EHP. It's honestly, its armor resistances aren't super bad, other than this the explosive hull here, the explosive and kinetic hull. These are really, really bad. Hull is, I mean, it's low across the board, but there are ways to kind of buff that. So realistically, and even the cargo space, like, I mean, if you need to transport something small, this is probably your way to go. You know, it doesn't offer us a lot of CPU or power grid, and it doesn't offer us a whole lot of capacitor, but these are all things that we can work with. So let's start by figuring out what exactly you can do. Okay, so we already know what we can do PvE wise in the game. We've got various routing opportunities. We've got scanning, exploration, mining, you know, as just some kind of basics. Something like this, what you would probably want to do is you would want to try to do, if you need some quick, just snappy bounty, I would honestly start with trying to look through asteroid belts and see what you can find in the way of rats. And in 0.5 to 0.7 sec, that's what you're going to be able to do in high sec. So let's go ahead and just kind of poke through the asteroid belts, and I'll actually drop this down to the bottom so this one's not in our way. Excuse me. And retriever here. We'll keep going. Maybe I should just ask in local if anybody's seen any rats in the belts lately. Kind of speed this up for us, right? Let's see here. Okay, that's looking good. Pretty far away from this belt. And as you can see, you know, we're warping through pretty good. Okay, so here we go. Here's a retriever. Or, sorry, not retriever. We don't care about the retriever. There's Blood Raiders. Which he's probably going to warp out. I wouldn't be surprised. Alright. Let's... Oh, no, he's going after the rats. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and head off to somewhere else then.
Drive active.
We'll let him do the thing he wants to do. Okay, here we go. There's 3 rats here. So let's see if we can figure out what this thing's capable of. Again, if it blows up, it's not a big deal. But these rats are worth 10,000 Isk apiece. We have to get a little bit closer. Apparently 32 kilometers is our cutoff point for being able to target. So once they're within that range, we can start targeting. Just like that. Now, also, we have to get really close in order to fire on them, with our fall off being 5,100 meters and optimal being 3,960 meters. So let's get these guys really close. This guy's our closest. We're going to orbit at 1,000. And as you can see, they're already attacking the shields, which is fine. Okay. So we're clearly missing quite a bit. Let's see if we can kind of... There we go. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, we have no repair modules. We have no way of really saving this ship. And we're not really doing enough damage to be viable in this situation, at least in a 0.5 sec system. If we were in like a 0.7 or 0.8 sec, this would probably be a little bit easier to handle, a little bit easier to work with. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and see if I can get it out. But we did manage to take out shields with the civilian laser. So, in all honesty, I mean, that's a pretty good setup. Oh, I didn't make it. Oh, well. That's okay. And I still went into warp. That's great. All right. So, yeah, that clearly didn't work out. Not that we are surprised about that. But this was kind of a real... kind of one of those moments that it's better to see and better to do. Hey, look, there he is. He's talking. Poor guy. Hope I didn't scare him off or anything. So, as we can see, 0.5 sec, which is where we play at, it didn't really work out. So, we can't take this thing in a wormhole. It's not going to work out. It's not going to work out at all. So what do we want to do? Well, we want to play to its strengths. It's clearly got strengths to activation cost and damage for small energy turrets. So let's go ahead and see what it would take to actually kind of kit this thing out a little bit. See if we can maybe bring some viability to it. We obviously can't do any kind of rigging. It just doesn't have any calibration. It doesn't have any slots for rigs. That doesn't change the fact that we can't do something with it. If we need a backup ship, this might be our best bet. If we just need to get a little bit of ISK real quick to get us back on our feet to something a little bit better, say to a frigate, right? Like I said, if you're down to that last ISK, that one ISK or 0.01, because I think your ISK can actually go to 0.01. You know, if you're really down, if you're really low, you need to get something. Or if you just have a couple thousand or a couple 100,000 and it's just not something you want to risk, because you just can't really afford the loss at this point. You know, Eve's all about being able to replace what you lost. Don't fly what you can't, you know, what you can't replace, that kind of thing. So we do want to, like I said, we want to play to its strengths. Start with turrets and launchers. Beam lasers, as I've said, they give you range. Pulse lasers give you punch. And we're dealing with rats. Chances are you're probably not going to have to worry too much about range. And if you're an alpha or a new bro that hasn't quite trained up, you know, like hasn't quite trained up, you know, like to detect 2 and things like that, you're probably going to want like here's an afocal pulse maser and drop 2 of them in there. Now, of course, you're going to need charges at this point too. So if you go, say, multi-frequency, you know, your fall off range is then at 6,300. Your optimal was in 3,300 meters. But your alpha strike is 116 with your overall DPS at 44. That's already a lot higher than the civilian module that we had. So we're already doing better. And if you want to do even better than that, you know, you could even drop in, for whatever reason, Imperial Navy. Again, that's gonna drastically raise your cost, you know, but you do get a little bit more DPS out of it. In this case, I obviously wouldn't recommend that. Instead, you're better off picking a multi-frequency, so that way you have that, maybe some radio, so you have a bit of extra range if you need it. It will drop down your DPS, but at least you can start firing sooner. Things like that. Ultraviolet, for it to be a lot closer if you needed that. Standard, of course, is standard, but always good to have. In this case, you're probably going to want to go with what was it? Multi-frequency and radio, just to have to. I mean, you could go maybe with a gamma, I think. Yeah, you could go with a gamma. That way you have some kind of a mid-range. That would kind of help that out a little bit. But overall, you might even just be better just staying with multi-frequency. At 32 K ISK, I mean, you know, that's not going to be a big deal. That right there, you could get that from Project Discovery without a problem. You know, a couple runs and you'll have it. And Project Discovery is another thing we will go over at a later time as well, and a little bit more in depth. Excuse me. So we got this. Next thing we're going to want to do is fill up those mid slots. Now, we got weapon disruptor effectiveness, so we're going to be looking at electronic warfare. If you're wanting to go that route, you're probably going to want to use either a guidance or a tracking disruptor. Honestly, you're probably going to want to go with a tracking disruptor, because I believe that's what most of the rats are going to have. They're not going to have missiles so much as they're going to have like that. And I believe those use charges as well. They do. So optimal range or tracking speed, you're probably going to want to get tracking speed. That just kind of gives them, if you were doing this, for instance, that makes it harder for them to hit you, because tracking is going to be way off. Obviously, in my case, I can't use weapon disruption 1, and I wonder if that's because of the charge. Nope, that's because of the module. So if you're stuck like me, you're gonna want, so if you're stuck in that particular spot, your best bet actually would be to drop in like a battery, probably. I might want to try like see if it'll take medium. No. I'd just try to drop, yeah, like one of these in there. Give yourself some more capacitor. Because one thing you're going to want to do, if you can't reduce their tracking speed, you're going to want to make sure you go beyond their capability of tracking you to fire. So in the last, excuse me, they had the civilian afterburner on it before. You could do that, or you could try to do they don't give you a civilian micro warp, so you might end up just being stuck with grabbing the civilian afterburner that they give you, which isn't necessarily to say that that's a bad thing, because that still does give you quite a bit of velocity. It gives you the chance to at least get away a little bit. And then finally, for the low slots, your best friend is going to be the damage control. A damage control 1 is clearly going to be like your thing. They do offer civilian damage controls that you can find. I thought I turned that off. I did. That's why I can't think. So as you can see, the civilian damage control doesn't really do a lot. It does raise up our EHP, but not as much as like a damage control 1 would. That gives us at least a little bit more capability of taking punches. I wouldn't recommend going with a IFFA, because you're just killing your capability there. If you have the Isk for it and you wanted to play around with it, you could easily do like a damage control 2. I mean, that's going to give you a little bit better punch. So if like using a Corvette for whatever reason is kind of your thing, that's what you want to go for, do that. You probably also want to do some kind of like a multi-spec coating. Or even better, just try to fill this explosive hole. So like, you know, if you can find, and it's not going to be very good. Or you could even just straight go with an armor plate if you could find one that actually would work, which this probably won't. You could put it in a reactive and really kind of kick it up. That actually could be a lot of fun, but it's 1.4 million Isk, so you probably don't want to do that. I mean, we're already looking at it being, you know, pretty high, and that's just because of the damage control too. So we'll probably drop that down. Actually, just there we go. So, I mean, the only other thing that would maybe be like a layered coating. Yeah, like a layered coating 1, for instance. You don't necessarily need to do yeah, there we go. You don't necessarily need to do like a repper. Could, if you wanted to do like a small armor rep, but I think the only thing you're gonna get, yeah, it doesn't quite work with the power requirements. So I would just stick with that, because honestly, you're gonna go in there, you're gonna kill the rats. There we go. You're gonna go in there, you're gonna kill the rats, and you know, you're gonna get through it, like, and get back. And when you get back, just repair at a citadel. Try to find like a player-owned citadel. That way you can repair for free or cheap, and then you don't have to worry as much about that. We obviously can't do this here. So let's see where the closest things are that we can buy. Got a damage control 1. Closest one is in Zoo. Okay. Theology Council. There's an I Choose You Market in Monarch. There's upgraded layered coating in Palma. Okay, so maybe just for funsies, we'll go from here. And let's actually make our way to Jeddah with it. Go. Another interesting thing about... Yep, we'll just, we'll actually just go that route. That'll be fine. Well, we're only shaving off 3 jumps, so... guess I won't worry about it. Not so much. So while we're going, I'll go ahead and also mention the only other ship that has less utility or less functionality than the Corvette is going to be the shuttle. And that's the only thing with the shuttle isn't so much that it's got less utility. It's just the only thing it's used for is for transporting your pod. It literally is a definition of second skin, but you have to pay for it. Whereas with the Corvette, you don't. So that's kind of the big thing. That's the big takeaway there. Now with shuttles, they give you a 90% reduction to effective distance traveled for jump fatigue. That's going to be like if you take like a Titan bridge, for instance, I believe. And then also you're immune to interdiction, sphere launcher, warp disruption, field generators, mobile small, medium, and large warp disruptors. That actually kind of threw me off how they coded that there. And that's pretty much it. Its attributes, the big takeaway from its attributes is that it warps a little bit faster than your pod. And it's also got more maximum velocity, so it's a fast boy. It's also got it's also really cheap, like space wise, to package. It doesn't hold a lot of capacity, so 1 rig, for instance, you know, that kind of stuff. And again, each race has a shuttle. Each race, aside from having a shuttle, there are other ones out there too. For instance, let's see if I can. Let me actually hold on to this here. Here we go, shuttle. So like, well, it's gonna show me those. I think it's under special edition ships. Yeah, here we go. You got a Bubuk for the Caldari. Galente's got the Interbus shuttle and the Council diplomatic shuttle. You'll see those given out during special events. Minmatar's got the Leopard, and then there's a non-Empire Apotheosis, which was given out during the last Capsuleer day stuff. So that's kind of an idea there. That's essentially how they work, or at least that's how they that's how they have them set up. But yeah, I mean, every race has their own version of the shuttle. Caldari's got a boxy looking one. Galente's got that one, and Minmatar's got something that really is kind of almost akin to like a TIE fighter, all things considered. So, and for those that don't know, because I know like this right here, you know, it talks about an expert. It's an expert system symbol is what it is. I'm not really sure why my UI is showing me that, to be honest with you, since I can fly it without a problem. I've been doing that with the hair on, so that's, I don't know if maybe they're just featuring that or what. Guess we'll find out. See what it does. Oh, it opens up a page out there. Okay. But if you guys like this, if you guys like these, I was actually planning on doing these kind of ship featurettes once a week, so like maybe every Thursday, as kind of a way to give us something to play with a little bit more on Mondays as well. So like, for instance, right now I'm doing a bit of Corvette stuff here, and then on Monday when we pick back up later on, you know, it's going to be more Corvette stuff, but on the PvP side. So like right now we're doing the PvE side. We're just checking this out, seeing what we can do. If you guys want me to bring a Corvette into a wormhole, I'm sure I can figure it out, but it's not going to end well. It's just going to get blown up. So, but at the very least, for ratting, maybe even level 1 missions, maybe we can figure something out. It's always worth a shot. It definitely, excuse me, it definitely works out okay for the career agent stuff, for sure. But it doesn't necessarily work out much beyond that. But the hope is we get this, we poke around in an asteroid belt, we make a few kills, and then we see if we can actually do something else with it. Let's see here. And then my goal is going to be to get us through kind of all these ships up to at least the Omega lockers, because the main ones are really of most concern. And yeah, and I mean that's going to include you know, our haulers, our beloved haulers too. You know, what can we do for a PvE or even a PvP setting in some cases for a hauler, which by the way, haulers make great bait ships. I'm just gonna throw that out there. And if you guys looking to use to try to get some bait, think about using a hauler. You might catch something. Just saying, you might catch something. Yeah, it's like, I mean, but we've seen some of these ships already in action because I've been messing around with a bunch of different ones. And as you can see, I'm not super tailored into one side or another, or another. You know, we could also try taking some of these into the Abyss too and seeing how they work. And that was actually something that I considered doing anyways. So if something drags on, say, to a third session, a third stream, we can certainly do that too and give it a shot, see what happens. We're about 14 jumps away. Let me see if we are any closer to finding. Ooh, they got pricey, didn't they? I mean, if price isn't really going to be an issue with it, I may go back and see if I can fit something else. Focus modulator, pulse energy beam. Yeah, so I could fit those. I mean, realistically, any of the small lasers are probably going to fit just fine anyways on this. Anode pulse particle stream. If I'm not mistaken, this one doesn't have. It's only a 3.6 damage modifier. Let's see. Focused, I think, are the strongest ones. Gatling is high rate of fire. Should be. Damage. Rate of fire. No, rate of fire is higher on the focused one. Unless I wasn't looking at the right one, which is possible. What was it? It's optimal range, perhaps. May have been it. And then the duels are supposed to be higher rate of fire. 270. Yeah, so we're gonna want to go with small focused. Okay, we'll give that one a try. We're obviously gonna be burning quite a bit of Isk on this one, but that's fine. I mean, for a Corvette that's supposed to be free, you know, it's quite a bit. It also gives us some drone bandwidth. I didn't see that before. I didn't even realize that. If you want to put a drone here, do a hobgoblin. Just do a hobgoblin and call it a day. I mean, hobs are really good. They just have, they're kind of well rounded in a lot of ways. So I mean, they're just like the others, you know, they have their own weaknesses and strengths. There's actually a scale depending upon where you want to go. You know, one's better for PvP, one's better for PvE, and it kind of scales. But they each different damage types, and that kind of thing. So, and I think I've kind of mentioned that in the past. And I guess I can't really mention it enough because it's drones are tricky. Drones aren't like missiles where, oh hey, I'm going to load this missile type and call it a day. Because there's drones, you have to already undock knowing what you're going to go fight. Unless you have enough drone space, essentially, drone hold space to hold more than just one flight of drones, which some of your bigger ships do, so that's not so bad. You can kind of prepare. You can prepare for, you know, for that. But let's see. That's what I was thinking about. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I mean, our offensive capability did rise up a little bit by using the small focused. So that's at least good. Our defense didn't rise, which is not okay. Not as okay. But you know what? If I'm going to be burning 1.2 mil already, let's go ahead and up the ante on this a little bit. Actually, no. Well, it only brings up to 1.5. So let's do this instead. Let's do, because we're wanting to try to keep it cheaper anyways. Keep it cheaper? I mean, we don't want to do necessarily Tech 1. I'd rather meta it if at all possible. Might try the pulse masers. Just to give us... Yeah, and we're still above that 50. So that's not too bad. What about the anode pulse particle? Okay, so yeah, if you could maybe spring for that. I mean, that would even be better by and large. Ooh. There be a criminal here. Oh, there's a gank going on. You guys want to watch a gank? Let's see here. There they go. Concord's taking them out. So here we've got the Caldari police. And this was Minmatar destroyers. Let's see here. Doesn't really tell me which one. So that's kind of unfortunate. But yeah, so that was cool to see. That scanner. Salty. I think those are... Oh, they already left. Oh well. There we go. And that was the guy's, that was what the guy lost. 1.8 bill, it looks like. That's an unfortunate loss.
Drive active.
And that was an Ocketer. Oh, okay. They were a part of Riot. That's why they looked familiar. Yeah, you guys probably can't see that. There we go. Yep, it was always pretty interesting and nerve-wracking to kind of just watch a fight happen out in the middle of space. There we go. Get rid of that annoying red dot. And those kinds of things happen all the time too. By the way, they happen all the time in high sec. I mean, we're in Udama now, so it just kind of makes sense. It's kind of cool that there's lights on the very front of this thing, like a car, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna put lights in the front. Not that we have a, I guess we do have like a cockpit right here at the top, don't we? Can't really see it very well because the camera's shaking like crazy, but either way, it's like, why put lights in the front? It's just kind of a weird design, but hey, whatever, you know, lights in the blackness of space, why not? So our real next question is going to be, you know, obviously we want to try to, and now that we're in the Citadel, we can see kind of what the prices are going to look like. You know, let's see if we can maybe drop the price down by getting rid of the DCU2 or DC2 and go with a DC1, you know. Yeah, that's going to kind of cut into our capabilities here. Like I said, through shadowy asteroids. Yeah, I guess that's true, Misa. We could just fly through shadowy asteroids, and, you know, if we don't have lights on, we can't really see. Maybe the camera can't pick them up, or the sensors, or what have you. So that wasn't too bad. And obviously, as far as capacitor goes, we don't really need, unless something is scramming us, don't even really need the capacitor or the cap battery. So we could actually get rid of the cap battery and save us at least a little bit of ISK. Obviously not a whole lot. Because our big, probably our big grab is going to be... We could use a weapon upgrade. We could do like a tracking computer, I bet. Yeah. So we could do... There's an optical compact. And then that would give us the ability to mess around with some tracking speed and some optimal range. And we'll have both of those. Just like that. And that's actually pretty good. That could be a little bit of fun. So yeah, let's get this picked up. And then we will go and see. We'll just kind of keep going down. I think actually that might be a good idea, just to keep going down the list on security status. Try to find rats of each security status down to 0.5, just to see and make sure that we can actually take them on, and then jump into like a level 1 mission, a security mission, and just to kind of see how that looks, what we can expect from something like that. And hopefully it's nothing like too serious or dangerous. And I might just pick something just in Caldari and not worry too much about standings overall, just to kind of expedite this a little bit, because this could be a lot of fun. I mean, you playing level 1 missions and you just want to derp around a little bit, and we got our chunky boy almost ready. You know, it could be good. And you know, if it blows up, it blows up. Not a big deal. I mean, if I'm being honest, I can't think of anything else. If we needed like a cap recharger or something, that would make sense. We don't really need a hull repper. Although we could probably hull tank a little bit. That could even be interesting. If you guys wanted to do something like that, I guess we can't do that. Well, that makes me sad. Okay, we're almost at Jeddah. Actually, I wonder, could I do layered coating 1? That doesn't really change anything, does it? No, it doesn't. Okay. Oop. I got rid of the wrong thing, didn't I? My bad. I mean, even still though, that didn't really give me a lot of damage control. Let's go to the 0 dock. Change it up just a bit more. We could do a reinforced bulkhead that would slow it down, Not that it would make a difference, but that would at least give us a little bit more capability. Another option might be, I mean, I would personally want to do some kind of like a resistance. That's really just kind of where my head's always been at. But obviously we don't want to do anything like super expensive. Something like that actually wouldn't be too bad.
Docking request accepted.
Multi-spec coating 1 brings it up a little bit. I think if we're gonna do that, might as well just fill the explosive hole altogether, or just do yeah, you could actually really fill that hole with an explosive hardener 1. That's not too bad. So we could even get rid of the damage control. Let's try that real quick. Let's do explosive hardener 1. And let's do kinetic hardener. That gives us almost the same. So you could even just tailor this to like whatever we're going to be fighting. And that actually would work out just fine too. Let's see what kinds of, but if you don't know, which in my case I don't actually know. Scriptable. Probably don't do spec coding 1s. And that would very specifically raise it up. It does raise it up a little bit lower, which is kind of the unfortunate side. So in that case, then you'd probably still want to damage control. That at least gives you kind of a general basis. So that's not too bad. With the very last thing being like that medium slot, which you could just leave. I mean, you don't have to necessarily fill the medium slot. Let's say could probably do E-War. We could do a Weber, I think. Yeah, that way you could kind of hold them there, and that would make targeting them and shooting them a lot easier. Weber's never a bad option. Warp disruptor, warp scram, those kinds of things you probably don't really care as much about for your rats. Could do a sensor dampener, but that's not going to make a difference. So yeah, weapon disruptor would only be the only other viable option, and you would just have to train for it. In this case, we'll just go ahead and just go with the Weber. There we go. And I mean, it's still stable no matter what. So let's actually see if it'll let us change that out.
When doubling your Isk, remember every Isk counts.
We're at 0.5. Unless I do a compact. Yeah, okay, there we go. I could do a compact. I'm not sure why I didn't think of that sooner, but we could do that. So overall, that's not too bad. Someone's currently selling the Imperator for almost 10,000 Isk, which seems strange to me. We get all this other stuff. So we're spending about 600,000, so a little bit over half a mil. Yeah. I don't think I remember having that little. Oh, that might have been from just the other week. Now I remember what I was doing in Amar. I was setting jump clones. Wonder if I ever got to that. Well, I set one in the shop, so yes. And I've got one in perimeter as well. That's right. I was going to put my other one in Samela. Now I remember what we were doing. It's been definitely been a hot minute, and it's been a rough week. All right, let's see if it'll let me. There we go. All right. So now we have our ship. Let's see here. What do we want to name this thing? Let's just name it Blasted for now. And if anybody can redeem that name my ship channel point thing, the tachyonic particle, go for it. I will not be offended. Keep it at a good rating. All right. Now we need to pick our destination. We're in a 0.9 sec system already. Let's actually jump down to 0.7. I'm gonna, must be Polchford. Yeah, that's Polchford. Okay. Let's head in this direction. No, let's not head in that direction. I don't want to go there. Here we go. That's 4 jumps away. That's perfect. Because we're going to have to get out of Jeddah and perimeter anyways. New Caldari is a 1.0 sec. We'll have to head out of there. Let's group our weapons, set our mods up where we can use them. All right, so we're not going to be going, obviously we're not going to be doing anything in Jeddah. Jeddah is literally a trade hub. I believe they removed like pretty much everything. Misa, this is the Imperior. This is the Amar Corvette. So this is the free ship, and we basically blew half a mil to kit this thing out to make it battle ready. I do weird things with money. So, and it's not gonna stop. Probably not, at least. But yeah, so everything in Jeddah, like, they've kind of removed everything so that way the server can just handle the trading part of it, and the massive amounts of people. There's like 899 pilots, 901 pilots in Jeddah right now. Cuddles. Okay, I will name it Cuddles. New Caldari is a 1.0 sec. There we go. That should have worked. And it did. All right. Oh, I've got 4 multi-frequencies. And I never removed the scripts. Oh well. So yeah, New Caldari is a 1.0 sec. There are 2 asteroid belts, but I'm going to go ahead and skip them in favor of the 0.7 sec that's there. That should give us a very clear indication right now as if things are going to go well for us, or if they're just going to go downhill from here. So we're going to take Cuddles, and we're going to go see what we can blow up in Cuddles. Hopefully there are a lot of asteroid belts here. I actually don't know. If not, I may have to go to the next system over. There's a few. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah, there's more than a few. That's perfect. All right. Let's go blow something up. Switch to the combat tab. Okay, nothing in the first one. Let me see if I can find something also for you guys to share here. Okay. These guys at least are not dangerous.
Warp drive active.
Still no luck. We'll keep trying. 0.7 seconds supposed to have rats, so.
Warp drive active.
See if that goes. There we go. There we go. Guristas. Okay, well, so let's go head towards them. And as we can see, I didn't pick up anything other than multi-frequencies. There's a reason for that. Mostly for me, it's just laziness, in all honesty. Get your drone out. Get him started on the first guy. And as soon as he gets close, actually this guy's closer. Start firing on him. And oh, he's using rockets. How fun. Obviously orbiting around me. And poof, gone. Just like that. So this is obviously very viable. If I wanted to, I could probably go back. I don't really need the stasis Weber. And they never even got through my shield on this one. So let's go to a 0.6. And we'll just kind of keep going. Yeah, exactly, Misa. Poof, gone. Spell And I didn't catch the bounties on those, by the way. So, but I think they were like the 5,000 to 8,000 range. Okay, there's only a few asteroid belts here, so.
Drive active.
Wow. This one's pretty far out. Go ahead and get rid of the overlay. Man, that took a hot second to get here. All right. Clearly don't have anything here, so let's try the next one. And also, we're starting out at about 93. We'll probably hit 94% shields. So we're not like full, but this is still going to be more than enough of a test to see if this can even be done here at a 0.6 sec, which, as I said, it should be. Our first foray was a 0.5 sec. If we were in like a 0.7 sec, we actually wouldn't likely have any problems. And here we go. We've got three rats. We've got an infiltrator and 2 invaders. So let's go. Let's go see if they want to go play. All right, launch the drone. Go. And first one's up. We're already doing significantly more damage to these guys anyways. I mean, that was a heavy hit, heavy blow to these guys right here. Even from farther away. So like, even just switching out from that civilian Gatling laser into these, you know, focus lasers. That's pretty good. And of course, having the rat helps as well, or the drone. Having the drone helps as well. And once again, these guys just don't have. Excuse me. They just don't have the firepower to, one, they don't have the tank to sustain my firepower, and two, they don't have the firepower to take me even through most of my shields. So not bad. And we did get some free skill points. Let's go ahead and just apply those. Oh wow, that kind of really takes care of quite a bit, doesn't it? 1000 SP did quite a bit. Cool. Very good. Oh wow, this is a big system. Excuse me. Sorry, it's been a very long day for me. So very, very long day. Space rabbits over there hooting away. Hoot, hoot. Hoot, hoot, hoot. Let's go see. We are now in a 0.5 system. The last time we were here, we did lose our Imperior, our Corvette. So now we're going to try to not lose our Corvette. Next one. And also nothing there.
Warp drive active.
There we go. All right, let's go play. They're a bit different. Their bounty is a little bit higher too. 11K. I'm also doing a little bit less damage to him, but I am still holding up against him pretty well. There we go. Now they're offering a bit of a fight. Oh no. And these guys were using rockets, so. I think I might survive this one. Okay. So as we can see, 0.5 sec is definitely harder hit, if you will. Obviously we get some loot if we want to go that route. Each one of them was 11,000, 12,000, something like that. This one had thorium charges. And that's what you're going to find a lot of, too. Yeah. Okay. So I guess we know at this point Hurting by Cuddles is still alive. Yeah. Let's head back to Jeddah. We're not too far away. And we can actually fix it up there. Yeah, metal scraps.
Warp drive active.
Not a big deal. It's clear that the damage control helped out. The multi-spec coding helped out a little bit. Not as much, though. We take this back to the drawing board and we apply the same principles of just outfitting a ship as we do with everything else. Let's take that off. Oh. First, let's go into the simulate window. And let's unfit. Uh-oh. I don't think we're going to get to watch that. Yeah, we're already in. He's getting concorded, it looks like. He did it bad. Oh well.
Warp drive active.
Such as Eve. But yeah, if we take that off, we'll go ahead and also take off the web of fire for now as well. We go back into armor and we do armor reppers. We'll do a small. We know we can't do the armor rep 1. Actually, we can't do the ACM compact either. That civilian armor rep would be about the only one we can do. And that's not going to offer us a whole lot of repairing capability. It's 15 HP, as opposed to doing like even the ancillary, which is 52 on its own. I think. Yeah, and like the armor rep 1, for instance, is are you gonna, okay, it's already done. So in this case, our best way of actually, yeah, someone was naughty. Let's see here, we're looking at, yeah, so we would have to actually change our guns in order to utilize this, because I don't believe there's anything on the medium slots for. Yeah, it utilizes our and at the same time too, we actually have to think about, well, that depletes, so how do we fix that? Cat battery 1 would do it, but even then we're at negative 8.5, so we do clearly have to find an alternative. But what about the focal? I can only use one.
Warp drive active.
What about the modal? Again, same thing. I can only use one. Kind of looks like that's just going to be the. Now, I mean, I didn't need the compact afterburner at all, so I could do that. Get rid of the compact afterburner. Not even need the cat battery. Because I've got the armor repper there. Oh no, I did need the cat battery. My bad. Let's go ahead, get zero dock.
Warp drive active.
Oh, there we go. Let's see. So in the mids, in this case, because I'm focused more on repairing, I could do something along the lines of drone navigation computers. I think the navigation computers. Okay, speeds. Tracking link. Okay, here we go. Optimal range, fall off, explosion radius.
Docking permission
Go ahead and
requested.
dock
Docking
that.
request accepted.
Okay, it's not the right one. PB acid. could even do. I guess I'd just go back to the Weber. And then if that's the case, since I can't use that, look at cap recharge. Yeah, here we go. So like a cap recharger too, for instance. That does bring it up significantly. We could maybe even go with the Ecotech. Yeah, there we go. Since I don't specifically remember what we had. We had the anode pulse particle stream rather than the modulated. Okay. So, yes, I got one of my space cats here bugging me. At any rate, this actually should work. We'll grab. In this case, we've got the damage control 1. We've got the Weber. Obviously, have the Hob and the Imperior. Obviously, have the weapons we want. We don't need the links, and we don't need the multi-frequency. So this is really the only things we changed. And then only added about 15,000.
Please take extra care during our renovation works.
Not right now. I'm busy. I'm busy. We'll go ahead and replace these things. There it is. Okay. So from here, we're still roughly at the same type of EHP defense. You know, we have the addition of the Weber, and then we have the multi-frequencies. Now, about the only thing that I would want to do is maybe grab the radio. Yeah, grab some radio. Just to kind of give it that little bit of extra. Okay, so it didn't save. Didn't save the name. Okay. Eve is weird. Sometimes Eve is very, very weird. That should have fixed it. I'll exit the ship and re-enter. That should hopefully lock it in place. Misa, you want to call your kitty? That's right. Go back to the plan. Silly cat. Okay. All right, so let's go try out a mission. Let's see what happens. Security. We're gonna do level 1. I want to do within 5 jumps. And I want it to be in high sec. And it could be any faction. That's fine. There's one in perimeter. One in Baldari. I want them at least a couple jumps in. Well, I guess. Let's go here. Let's see if we can just talk to them. Gives us a chance to kind of try this out a little bit too. This will be good.
Warp drive active.
Okay. Oh, I'll have to remember to repair when I get there. I forgot to repair. Which is fine. Yeah. Yeah, I need to jump to the next system, dock up so I can talk to the agent. And while I'm doing all that, I'll go ahead and repair it. It can get its proper tech support that way.
Warp drive active.
Those Cuddles definitely need some mechanical aid. Okay, never mind.
Docking permission requested.
There we go.
Docking request accepted.
Switch those, and I need to put this over. Whoop. Okay. And now, oh, cool. We can do both level 1 and level 2. That's real interesting to know. Repair it. Huh, it doesn't cost anything. Perfect. Okay. Let's check out level 1. See what we can do. Lights out. We have to go here. And we have to kill a Galente lieutenant. We may have to do more than one of these just to see if we can get into a kind of a decent run. Oh, good. That even came through. And I mean, honestly, those few things, those few asteroid belts where we encounter those rats, and getting that little bit, it's not too bad. A little bit of extra work than, say, doing, Project Discovery. I keep wanting to call it Eve Discovery. Same thing, right? So kind of a little bit extra work, but it's more interesting. It's more engaging. So, and since that's what we were going for, that's perfect, actually. I'm gonna hide this. Did I not accept it? Find out. I did not. I am bad at missioning. Really restless. Yeah, they are. They are really restless tonight. Not sure what's going on with them, but well. What's wrong thing? There it is.
Warp drive active.
Okay. Now at least I can go back and actually accept the mission this time and give it a shot. And then we can actually see if it'll work. Oh, excuse me. Gosh, man.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
There we go. Okay. Now that I've actually accepted the mission, let's go back to
Active.
Fontanayan. Yes, let's try that again. Misa is absolutely right. Let's try that again. What a long name. Fontanayan. Okay. All right. Let's go with it. Let's go with that name. That's a odd name. But yeah. All right.
Warp drive active.
Now, remember, we can't sustain this on, so it's probably going to be in our best benefit, especially since we've only got 250 armor anyways, to just kind of pulse our armor repper. So we're just going to want to hit it every once in a while, just to allow it to do the thing it needs to do. And only when we're ready. And the competitor is currently inspecting the outpost. Attack it when he launches a counterattack. Okay, so I have to attack the outpost. Well, that close, so that makes sense. Oh, here he is. Okay, so all I have to do is just take out the lieutenant. And don't worry about the guards. We'll see how well this works. Let's lock him down. Let's go after him. And then we've got other Federation ships coming in. So we're doing pretty good against him. But that's not really the only thing that I want to do. So let's see how much we can actually like do. Because I really kind of want to see if we can survive something like this. And this is kind of one of our better options. Although I do honestly wish these were like pirates, so we would actually get some... Okay, so we can only do 3 targets. That's an interesting limitation of the ship as well. By and large, that wasn't too bad of a test. I do think we need to try with one more mission. Because in all honesty, there's just not a lot to it. But you know, we popped in there, we got him, we took him out, we're going home, and that's basically 100,000 Isk in our pocket, with some loyalty points. And that's, of course, not including any bounties we might get, which we won't get this time because there were no bounties. So that's not bad, really. Like, all in all, that's actually not bad at all. We'll give it one more shot on a level 1 mission. We'll maybe tune it up to level 2, just to kind of see where it goes. In all honesty, if we make enough that I've made back the, what, 500,000, 700,000 Isk that I threw into this ship, then great. I'm not gonna complain about that too much.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Okay. Let's go ahead and turn that in. Okay, yeah. 115k Isk, so that's... We now have to come up with, let's see, technically 450, because I mean we just got a whole bunch of bounties that kind of rolled through too. So we look at our transactions. Yep, there was a 13, which is 20 to 32, so 50 to 60 to 65. And then we just got another 115, I think it said, 113, something like that. So almost 200,000, almost. So we're about halfway through making it all back. Let's see what he's got for us now. Okay, let's decline this one. Let's see if they can actually give us something else. After the 7, okay. Yeah. It's a convoy, so it's very possible that we might be fighting some pirates now. That's good. And it's about 100,000 on its own. I remembered. I remembered at the last second to accept that. That was almost bad.
Warp drive active.
So yeah, as you can see, I mean, I didn't put a lot of Isk into this at all. I'm on an alt that has now 11 million SP. And even if I had a lot less SP than that, I could fly this ship with all the enhancements that I've done. And this is just one example of multiples. So yeah, in all honesty, it's a very viable way if you just want to hop in, have some fun, and maybe you just don't care about your Isk generation. Maybe you just want to play around, mess around in a low end ship, because you're gonna get kind of the same, essentially same stuff. You know, that same rise out of doing this in a level 1 mission as you would say in a frigate or a destroyer. I mean, you're gonna get, like, you might be able to kill things faster in a destroyer, for instance. Yeah, see, these guys have bounties, so that's good. And now I get to destroy all the enemies. So let's go. Let's start the string escort. Get out of here. Okay, so the 7's leader just decided to leave me. All right, now that I'm being attacked, let's do what we can. Okay, and they're already attacking my armor, but they're not doing that much damage to it. I'll go ahead and pulse that. Okay.
Skill training completed.
Okay. I mean, they're clearly still attacking. They're just not doing that much damage, so. I need to change my drones. It's just too aggressive. There we go. And then finally, all done. All right.
Warp drive.
So yeah, I mean, that was fairly good. And each one of them was what? 4,000, 7,000 on top of the almost 100,000 that we're going to be getting. Or like 6 or 7 of them. That's another 150, I think. So it's not too bad. We're talking about scalability. We're not spending, you know, we didn't spend a couple million bidding out spitting out a frigate in this case. So that was actually really good. That was really, really good. Go ahead and hit that one more time. Get that fully repaired.
Warp drive active.
I mean, excuse me, and I mean tank really held up, you know. We were able to hold our capacitor. So Cutlass is adorably deadly. Yes, Cutlass is adorably deadly. For a level 1 mission, this actually isn't bad. I would have to say. I don't know how it would fare necessarily against like Sisters of Eve type missions, because Sisters of Eve missions tend to be more pirate oriented, and those are the ones we have to fight a lot. But like even like a small group like that was fairly sustainable. Not every mission's gonna be like that. You're gonna have missions that are tough. Like even in a frigate, some missions on level 1 were even still tough. And that's just the nature of Eve, that you run into those every once in a while. But you know, I mean, as long as you're able to do more than what you're putting on, we're putting 500,000 Isk on field. I mean, and we're making back like 1/5 of it. So I would say that ratio's okay. Yeah, 90,000. So I would honestly say that is actually a very good ratio to be at. So even though we're dealing with, you know, a dumb little Corvette, which we've modded with our own stuff, it's still a lot better than I think what we've really seen. Like this one right here, this is more after the 7 type stuff. I'm actually gonna go ahead and decline this one. Oh, I guess I can't. So I'll wait, because I want to try the level 2. I want to see what they can offer. In this case, we're getting a little bit more in the way of rewards. Let's see here. Low-level executive consistently failed to live up to standards. Security vessels. Okay. Let's give it a try.
Warp drive active.
So again, we're looking at a payout of about 100K still. So not a lot, but at least a little bit. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but the real question is going to be, this is a level 2 mission, so technically speaking, these rats should hit harder. It should be harder for me to survive. So the question is going to be, can I survive in this ship, or am I going to run into a risk of losing it a bit more easily because I'm in a level 2 mission? And that's what we're going to try to find out at this point.
Warp drive active.
Sure that it actually saved. Yeah, it saved the name. Okay, good. Okay. Mhm. It doesn't really tell me what to do. There we go. Okay, so these ones have, we got destroyer. There's the executive in a cruiser. So we're gonna actually orbit that guy at 1,000. Try to get as close to him as possible. 500. Because he's gonna be doing a lot of damage just real quick. I'm gonna stick our drone on the cruiser. Whoa! My goodness. Okay, well, so far so good. We got up under the cruiser's guns in time. And granted, these guys aren't giving us any, okay, so my drones are just gonna have to take care of that guy. I'm too far away. So now we just have to see if we can break this guy's tank, which we may not be able to. We'll have to see. But my drone, my little drone dude, is doing a great job. Yeah, very feisty. Okay, takes care of that. And I am getting through his tank. And now that I've got the extra DPS from my drone, that should allow this to go a little bit quicker. And I should be able to successfully pair this off. Yep, just like that. Okay, so yeah, he can at least take on some cruisers, which is good. And you know, that was actually relatively quick. Oh, let's get the drones back. Okay. There we go. So yeah, that was relatively quick. In all honesty, that was actually relatively good too. I'd probably want to try one more level 2 mission just to see where we're at. That obviously, that was a bit more hair raising. That was a bit more interesting. A lot of fun there. So, you know, and you know, from burning a little bit of Isk and finding kind of this little gem here, that's not bad. Cuddles survived yet again. Yep, Cuddles did survive yet again.
Drive active. Docking permission requested. Docking request
There we go.
accepted.
Okay, yeah, and 120. And that's without any other bounties or anything. So that's actually pretty good. Let's see what the next mission is. Okay. This one's actually worth quite a bit more. Let's see here. And it's in the next system over. All right. Let's give this one more go. See if we can get a 2 for 2 on a level 2 mission.
Drive active.
And of course, we sustain no hull damage, and we can repair our armor. So, in all honesty, it's pretty good. We're doing okay. My hair is all over the place.
Warp drive
Okay.
active.
Give me a haircut. Yeah, I know. It needs to happen, and it will. That's fine. Okay, we've got 2 cruisers in here, so I may actually not be able to survive this. We will find out. They're all down there. Let's go with the frigates first. Okay. Oof. Sensor dampened, okay. Well, they wasted no time. Let's see if I can get closer to them. Because I am going to need to be closer. There we go. Once again, a lot of this is going to depend upon whether or not I can burn down the DPS against me quicker than they can burn me down. So far, that actually kind of looks like it is true. Let's go get closer to that guy. Those cruisers are going to be the big one. So far, I'm holding. Okay. And let's see if we can get through this. Which, as far as I can tell, it looks like it's actually working. Now, I don't know that I could do this if there was more than like 2 cruisers. And if they honestly had like some more destroyers, maybe, I'd probably be in serious trouble. I think that's kind of the truth of that. But I would have to say, you know, hands down, while they obviously are able to repair a little bit, it's really not that bad. So. Let's see here. Oh. There we go. I'm still a little too far away from my own guns. This guy's spread out real far. But he's not able to break my tanks, so. There we go. And now we should basically be in range. Yeah. Yep. And optimal's coming up too. And just about there. Once it's gone. Oh, you get another one. How fun. This one's also censored in. Oh. He brought friends. Yeah, he did bring friends. I mean, my rapper's holding up, so my capacitor's holding up. Everything's kind of holding up, so. How lovely. That's not okay. See if I can take care of this guy pretty quick so I can get over there. Or if I'm just gonna get stuck. They're getting closer. Come on, blow them up. Admittedly, it is really hard to chew through this guy's armor. Or, yeah, well, yeah, hull, armor, both of them, honestly. And there's the Caldari trader. That's the one we actually need to destroy to complete the mission. Going down slowly. Caldari trader. Just got a couple good shots off. Oof. Wow, they're really putting it through its paces now. Up there it goes. Let's see if I can kind of eke out. Well, I was able to take out the DPS just before it got overwhelming. Yeah. So this one's obviously proving a little tough. Go ahead and shut that down for now. Yeah, because wow. Oh, no wonder. It's got an armor repper. Or a bit of an armor repper. Yeah. That's actually quite a bit of a rep. For 61. So about 7%. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, all in all, it's still getting chewed down pretty quick, pretty easily. Now, with any luck, I'll be able to break this, get them into hull. Go. It's not the most interesting and engaging thing, just kind of watching the cruiser. Yeah, it's almost done. Waiting for the cruiser to just go boom, but hey, I mean, it did finally work. Okay, good. We got the DNA. Okay. Well, I'm not going to complain about any of that, that's for sure. And of course, once again, there's no there's no bounties from some of this stuff. So you've got a couple different things you can do. You can either stick around here, you could have dropped an MTU. Here's actually, that's actually really good. I'm gonna take that. That's being killed by a baby frigate. Not even a frigate, it's a Corvette. So it's like, it's actually less than a frigate, Misa. So that's even worse. That's that was pretty good though. That insignia, that actually sells for that. And loan track. Oh, heck, it's gonna sell for even half that. That's actually really good. So like, we can go through here now and with our frigate level 2 missions, and we're picking up tags. Almost 2 million cargo. I mean, I'm gonna keep kind of going back and forth to these and seeing if see how much more we collect and see how much is actually in this site. Because why not? We earned it. I'll do that. There we go. Excuse me. All of these are small wreck. There's another medium. We got 2 more medium wrecks. So if we're gonna find anything good, it's probably gonna be in the medium wrecks. Yep, every little thing that sells helps. You are absolutely right. And I mean, I'm certainly not gonna pass up. You know, we'll say 1.6, 1.8 mil in loot. So far, at least. Was 50K. Our last 2 are out, or last 3, I guess, are pretty far out there. Which, I guess, in all actuality, we couldn't do an MTU. MTU takes up 100 cubic meters of space, I want to say. Let's see here. Yeah, its volume was 100 cubic meters. The last one pretty far out there. I probably won't actually worry about it at this point. I'm getting a little too impatient.
Warp drive active.
But yeah, that's actually really good for almost 2 mil. With one of them just being that single, yeah, this one, the captain, fleet captain insignia. I mean, that's, I'm not gonna lie, that's actually really good. Really, really good. And that was a pretty decent find. I don't think you find them on every single mission, but like just that alone, for instance, plus the 100K we're going to be getting from turning this in. 2 mil? You know, we did that in what, 20 minutes? In a 500, 600,000 Isk ship? That's some good return. That's some very good return. And we had fun. I mean, it wasn't just, hey, let's just spin around and hope we do things. It actually got a little bit dicey there for a bit. Had to think on our feet some. This is the kind of stuff that Eve's all about. Well, I certainly liked it. Certainly liked it quite a bit.
Docking permission
Right.
requested.
And as for me, it is getting about that time. I can hear my reactors hissing in the background. They're getting ready to start screaming at me that they are full and ready to get activated for warp again. We do have a few minutes, so I want to go ahead and touch back. You know, we messed around with the Corvette. This was the Amar Corvette specifically. If I get access to, well, and I would have access, I can just go to Jeddah and I guess buy the ship. You know, I can show off the other ones, show off their capabilities a little bit, which all of them are pretty much going to be in a similar boat. It's just really about your flavor of how you want to play the game, which is really nice for a Corvette. Really, really nice. You know, for a ship in general. Oh, look at that, 160,000. That's awesome. So like that's a really, really good situation to be in. For an Eve ship, and unfortunately not all the ships have that same kind of thing. Um. So, but this was really good, like for the on the just the Imperier, showing what a Corvette can do, what kind of the PvE capabilities are, which obviously isn't much. I would be interested to see if I could take this into a T0 of any kind, of every kind, um, and come out on top. And that will probably be something that I will do next Thursday. I think I'll extend this particular kind of ship expose into next Thursday for sure. But Monday when we come back, I'm going to be looking at the PvP opportunities of a Corvette. We'll fit this out with a bit of PvP gear. We'll get it set and ready to go. We'll kind of figure out, kind of in a small scale, like what we want to do, how we want it to look, and then we'll go out to faction warfare space and we'll see what we can blow up, if anything. You know, we might run into a frigate, we might not. Who knows? We're gonna see what happens. Because honestly, I think the best chance we're gonna have at actually testing this thing's capabilities in a PvP environment is probably going to be in like one of the novice complexes in a faction warfare space. But we'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. So for now, I am gonna go ahead and hit that warp button. As always, thank you to everyone who has liked, followed, subscribed, enjoyed my content, both here and my VODs here and my VODs on YouTube when I post them up. I really appreciate it. You guys are the ones that help me to sustain and grow, you know, and to keep making this content, you know. So like I said, it's not said enough on here. I'm gonna definitely try to change that, and I'm just saying I greatly appreciate it is kind of what I'm saying in a long-winded way. But for now, I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the verse.